Folks, I'm literally about to lose my mind. Me, Kevin here. California is going to be spending 3,000 Bitcoin per mile for a train. Just so you know, that works out to $125 million per mile for Gavin Newsom's stupid high-speed railway. Folks, I'm going to give you an alternate in this video. Listen to this. Voters in 2008 in California approved $10 billion of spending for 500 miles for a high-speed train. Today, this high-speed train is expected to cost $100 billion. That's 10x the original expectation. We'll get a few hundred more miles. We'll get 800 miles. But if you divide 100 billion by 800 miles, you get $125 million of cost per mile, which is the equivalent of about 3,000 Bitcoin at the time of this recording, which is absolutely mind-blowing because guess what? Elon Musk tells us that the Boring Company could drill and have functional and operating tunnels under our cities, under our streets, under our highways for the cost of $10 million per mile. That means you could literally have 12.5 miles of tunnel for every 1 mile of train you get. To make this make a little bit more sense, consider this. For the same price that California and Gavin Newsom are wasting on a bullet train, you could build 12 tunnels. So literally like, that's one tunnel, that's two tunnels, 12 tunnels from the border of Mexico and the wall to the border of Oregon, 12 times for the same cost of a high-speed rail that won't even stretch from the bottom to the top of California all the way. We could do that with tunnels 12 times over for the same cost. This is a ludicrous expense, but not only is it ludicrous, think about it this way. Let's give you another analogy here. Let's say we wanted to build tunnels under every single interstate in California. We would literally be able to build a 2-lane tunnel system under every single highway that exists in California with the amount of money that they are spending on this high-speed bullet train. Gavin Newsom knows how to waste money. He just proposed increasing the budget by $4 billion for the high-speed rail, when instead we should be using tunnels. Consider this. The tunnel is going to alleviate traffic on, let's say, the 405 between a highly congested area like the 101 and the 10. Folks, that's only 12 miles of distance. You could spend $120 million, so a fraction of the $100 billion Gavin Newsom wants to spend, to alleviate hotspot areas with multiple tunnels, and you'd no longer have traffic and congestion. But see, logic doesn't work in California politics, and this is exactly why you got to go to meetkevin.com and support Meet Kevin, Paffratz, my campaign for governor, because this is ridiculous. But it gets worse. California's government says, hey, but come on, we're giving 5,000 jobs. We've already spent $267 million on salaries for this high-speed rail, and we're creating 5,000 jobs, so we might be spending all your taxpayer money and wasting it, but at least we're creating 5,000 jobs. The problem is, if you literally take their math and you divide the 5 years they spent on this project and 40 years, and you divide that into $267 million, you get an average pay for a full-time worker working 46 weeks, 40 hours per week, 8 hours a day. You get an average pay for these 5,000 workers of $6 an hour. Those are the 5,000 jobs California's creating. Now, obviously, they're not lumping them all together like that. It's because the way they're counting 5,000 jobs is by saying, oh, well, that guy worked on the job for at least 1 day in the last 5 years, so I guess that temporary worker or that tryout works. Yeah, 5,000 jobs. Folks, the politicians are lying to us through their teeth. They're the least transparent thing we have right now, and it's all Gavin Newsom's fault. It's not the people of California's fault. It's not the workers' fault. It's not even Congress's fault. It's leaders like Gavin Newsom who are screwing California. Folks, this is why you got to vote yes on recall and support Meet Kevin Paffrath for governor. But folks, think about this. A bullet train is not what we need. We need something that's actually going to solve traffic where we have traffic. Gavin Newsom is spending over 3,000 Bitcoin per mile of a train. It's going to be going through areas that don't even have traffic. That's the problem. If we just focus the tunnel spending in areas we have traffic, We alleviate traffic, and we could probably build 10 to 20 tunnels under the most congested parts of California, all throughout California, and instantly eradicate traffic throughout the entire state. Now, I know some people like to make the counter argument, which is reasonable, that, hey, well, if we build another lane of the highway, it's just going to get filled up with more traffic. Maybe true if you add one lane, but what if you add 12 in highly congested areas? Or what if we have variable toll rates for the tunnels that we do build? If you want to use the tunnel, you have the option of using the tunnel or going on the highway system. Now, all of a sudden, maybe we have a little less discretionary traffic going through the tunnels, and we really are just focusing on offloading peak congestion, which California is the butt of the world's joke when it comes to congestion. Tunnels solves the problem. Guess what else tunnels are good for? Earthquakes. Think about how things operate under the ocean when there are waves. Things are pretty calm under waves. You're sitting on the waves, or worst case scenario, you're a bridge and you're really riding that wave like a surfboard. That's where you get peak volatility. So what's actually more exposed to damage in an earthquake? A train or a tunnel? Hands down, a train gets destroyed, whereas tunnels stay protected and move with the ground. Folks, a high-speed rail is a disaster. When you look at the numbers, this is a Gavin Newsom pet project wasting taxpayer money, and it's another reason why California wants to raise your taxes. Now reduce them like I do. Go to meetkevin.com for governor. Support the cause.